station, and Molesey Boat Club A on the Buckinghamshire station. It's Molesey that have raced out to what, a half a length lead. They had a superb start there. I think it's always a bit nervous if you're on the Berkshire station, because you haven't got you've got the buoy line to guide you, and you'll watch on the Berkshire station that a lot of crews go off course because there's a little bay that really fools a number of people there. So it is, for me, an advantage to be on that Buckinghamshire station at the start, and we've seen that from the Molesey Boat Club A. Really stormed out to what, a 2-length lead already, and just coming to the quarter-mile post there. That's a fantastic lead, Will, at this stage.
Yeah, definitely. You can see there's only 400 metres into this race, and we can see already that the crew from Molesey have a clear water advantage over the University of Tulsa. They've come all the way over from the United States to race here at Henley Whitman's Regatta. So now, as they approach our commentary position, we'll be able to have a better view of the exact margin as they come past. A few shouts there on the bank from Molesey supporters, and it seems to me that there's a 3-length advantage at this stage to Molesey. Really strong start from them.
So these are the only crews that have to race at quarter-final level. The other crews are coming in tomorrow at the semi-final level, but it's been good for Molesey actually to get out there, Izzy and Will. I think just to get on the course, get a feel of it. I don't think there'll be too much of a disadvantage in the fact that they've had an extra race today. Certainly they practiced that start would have been great for them. And just at the bottom of the screen there, we've got the championship doubles, and it's Reading University on the Berkshire side and Nottingham University, so it's an all university lineup here.
You can see there a nice strong start from both crews, both of whom will be well acquainted with each other from racing at various Bucks races over the course of this year. Just trying to work out from our camera angles who's got that slight lead at the start. I think it looks like Nottingham might just have the lead there. Yeah, so really strong from them, just gliding through the strokes. They both look like very composed crews actually coming down here in the pair doubles rather.
So Reading, well known, of course, for their sculling. Reading University. I think a lot of world-class star athletes heading towards that university. They link up with the Reading club there. So we're not surprised really that we've got a good showing here from the Reading girls, and I think Izzy, they've got a slight lead now over Nottingham.
Yeah, it does look that way. Seems that some loud cheering going on down here for the crews, but it does seem that Reading have just edged on ahead a little bit, and seems as they've passed the quarter-mile post, they look set to continue with their strong, lengthy strokes, which will help to push them further ahead of Nottingham.
So Reading University, Chloe Knight and Lucy Ryan, and Nottinghamshire University, Lucy Gilbanks and Imogen North. Now, Imogen North, I don't know if you guys know much about her. She was at Stratford upon Avon. She was doing well. She was picked up by the GB selectors really quite early on, and then she had a pretty bad injury, and it's great to see her back in a competitive boat again. She's a fine athlete, but unfortunately she's got her work cut out with her partner Lucy Gilbanks now, as Chloe Knight and Lucy Ryan continue pile on the misery for them actually, and they're continuing to add to their lead. Lovely shot of the Reading girls there, nice and together. Very different styles actually, but the chemistry seems to be good. The boat's moving very quickly, so I don't think we can moan too much that their actual styles are too different. Working well together with the steering. Quite a bit easier, of course, for the doubles. They can talk to each other, even if it's a breathless talk. Very smooth sculling indeed. And Nottingham putting a bit of a push in there, I would think, Izzy, just to try and get back into the race. They've upped their rate. It's now or never really, because if they don't get on side now, it doesn't matter what sort of finish they've got. They're just going to be too far down.
Yeah, Nottingham still have a chance to pull through, as we've seen in some races this morning. Crews lagging behind through the race have just pulled it through at the last minute. So it does look like Reading are heading for the win in this race, but Nottingham still have all to play for. There's still a final stretch left of the course.
It's a lovely position to be in, isn't it, when you've got that length, 2 lengths, particularly if you've got just more than a length, and as the Reading, you can just see how they've just taken a rate right down. They're looking all the time at Nottingham. They're just covering any push or anything like that. They've got plenty, Izzy, I would suggest, left in the tank there, that if Nottingham did attack them, I think they'd up their work rate and up the power, and they're very well in control of this. There'll be a lot of their competitors looking at this race either live here or actually on the pictures later, and be thinking, we don't really want to get Reading in the next round.
No, I'd agree with you there, Greg. I think Reading definitely look like a strong crew, not one to be messed with in any future rounds. It'll be exciting to see where they'll go heading onwards from this race.
Especially given that you can see here that the Reading crew have definitely taken their rating down, and this is not showing us everything that they can do. They'll definitely be leaving something in reserve ready for the later races, so that opposition's going to be guessing. We can't look too much into the finish times here, seeing as the Reading crew are paddling it out now, despite the charge coming from the University of Nottingham behind them. There you go, there they go across the line. And now we look onto this race, which is another heat in the championship double sculls between the University of Tulsa from the United States of America on the Berkshire station and Thames Rowing Club on the Buckinghamshire station. And it seems at this stage that Thames Rowing Club have a lead over the crew from Tulsa.
It was a super start, wasn't it? And they really opened out in that first 100 metres, and they're dominating this race already. We've only just gone about 600 metres. It's good. It's an awfully long way back if Tulsa are going to come back at all. And I actually think that the Thames club will be slightly surprised that they've got such a gap already. And it's almost, what do we do now? It's a bit too early in the race to sit back and just paddle, but we want to conserve the energy. You can see there now that they really are relaxed. They've taken the stroke rate right down. I would say they've gone down from about 38 there to about 33, and they're just, well, one would say, guys, that they're just paddling down now.
Yeah, I think when you get in a position like that in a race, it changes the mindset completely. You go from being out there and super competitive, trying to get ahead of that crew, to just being able to relax and almost enjoy the race, just because you feel a bit more secure in it. But you can see the Thames crew, although they've lightened off a little bit, they're still pushing through, still going strong through their strokes, because there's still still a chance that the American crew could speed up, but I think Thames are feeling fairly confident at this point in the race.
Well, it's a long way to come to get to this position. I'm sure they're loving their time here. Who wouldn't love Henley when the sun's shining and there's lots of rowing to be going on? Who wouldn't love it? And they'll be having a super time, I'm sure. It won't take them too long to get over this, but just to having raced here is fantastic. Anyway, next race is on the course, and we have the Winnipeg Rowing Club from Canada, which is a composite with Nottinghamshire County. It's Nottinghamshire County on the Berkshire statement, and straight away there we see the Canadian club. Well, it's not. It's a Swiss and
Canadian composite. It's
Composite,
a very
which is
strange
very
combination
interesting.
of athletes to see a Henley women's and athlete from Canada and Switzerland racing together in this double sculls. But
So what do you reckon then, Will? Do you think they've got something set up in Switzerland and Canada? They're doing this by virtual headsets that they're training and stuff like that, or how on earth did they get to train together?
I don't know, but I imagine that they must have trained in Lucerne, or maybe both of them met here for Henley Women's this past week and have been training together in this past week together after only spending time in their single sculls. But that's no issue for them. We can see here they have at the barrier they have about a length of clear water over this crew from NCRA in the green unisuits you can see there.
So Michelle Drax and Helena Hilsova in that composite group really stamping their authority. So if Reading thought they had a kind of easy run, guys, I think they'll be thinking, well, there's another crew that's had a bit of a row over, and again, we don't want to get them in the next round. They look particularly strong. And that's not to say, Nottinghamshire County, this is championship double sculls. So they are a quick crew. And so what we're getting at Henley Women's these days are truly world-class athletes. Now these are greater than club athletes, and Henley is now able to attract, and Women's Henley is able to attract these world-class athletes to it. And it's pretty exciting, and you will have read, of course, what Sir Steve Redgrave is trying to do. He's trying to lengthen the Henley Royal Regatta. I mean, personally, I hope that happens, but I also hope that it doesn't take too much away from Henley Women's, which I think is a fantastic event on its own. And if you came down where you were commentating on Friday, Friday was absolutely packed. I usually am able to cycle following my crews, and Friday couldn't get through at all. So it says something for the organisers here. Miriam Luke, the chairman's worked so hard over the few years to make this a world-class event, and she should be absolutely proud of what she has achieved here. It's absolutely fantastic.
It's a lovely shot there of the composite crew from Winnipeg Rowing Club in Canada and the Sea Club of Lucerne, the Canadian-Swiss composite. You can see really loose. They've taken their rating right down now. Huge advantage over the crew from NCRA.
I think watching them there, it's almost hard to believe that they might have potentially not had that much time training together. We're not sure up here how this composite crew have come about, but to say the places that they're from, surely it must have been, as we said earlier, a difficult training program, but it seems they're just so in time and fluid with each other that it makes a great double.
And whilst we're watching the last bits of this race, I think it's about time we said a big thank you actually to all of the volunteers who, without their help, this event wouldn't happen at all. So this is a big thank you, I think, from all of us who are watching this fantastic event, to all of you who have volunteered in one way or another to make it happen. Anyway, Will, we're back to the action here. Perhaps another favoured crew.
Of course, this is race number 181. It's keeping with the championship double sculls. This is between Leander Club A and Wallingford Rowing Club. And already as we come off Temple Island to the 400 quarter mile marker, you can see Leander also have a huge advantage. There seems to be something we're seeing in all of these championship doubles races. One crew leading out very strong in the early stages of the race, and then settling down into a paddle to the finish line, not giving anything away to their opposition, which they will be coming up against later on in today or tomorrow morning's racing.
So Leander Club A, that's Sarah Boyer and Bethany Bryan, have got the advantage at the moment, and as Will says, just past the quarter-mile mark. And I'm looking down the course now. There it is. There's the shot that we see from our commentary position. I would say that's about 3-4 lengths already. Leander have done the hard work. They've done what they wanted to. They've stamped their authority on the race. They've got to this position, and now it's just a matter of covering anything that Wallingford can do. Wallingford, Samantha Burrows and Emily Wilkes. It's a fantastic effort, actually, guys, for them to be in the championship double event. But Leander athletes will be almost, well, if not professional, almost professional. They'll be training regularly, have access to top coaches. And again, like the previous two races that we've had, it's Leander who will not be wanting to give anything away. We can't look at the times for these at all. The racing, will really begin tomorrow in earnest for these top crews, and they'll be thankful that they've got out onto the course just to have a feel for. I know they've been practicing on it. It's not the same as when you're sitting on the start, is it? And the butterflies are going. And it's so easy in those first 5 strokes to make a mistake, catch a crab or something. There we are, Leander. You'd almost call them, guys, Sunday drivers, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want to be behind them at the moment.
No, definitely not.
But they've done all the hard work.
Didn't take them long, did it? They had the job done by the quarter-mile marker coming off Temple Island. And now they can enjoy this lovely paddle down all the way to the course and the finish line past the regatta enclosure.
I think it's safe to say, though, from watching these past few championships double races, I think the final of this event is definitely going to be an exciting one come tomorrow. All of these doubles are extremely strong, extremely good crews. For sure,
and actually, if we've seen at least 4 really strong crews, haven't we? So the semi-finals are going to be pretty hot. So if you're watching this, it must mean that you're interested in rowing. May I suggest that you get a program out, print one off from the computer, and begin to put down the times where you must not be having Sunday lunch or a liquid lunch or whatever. You should be watching some fantastic rowing here and sculling at this international event, Henley Women's Regatta.
Of course, a brilliant weekend of sport these next few days, but Henley Women's is where it's going to be, especially with this final of the championship double sculls to come tomorrow. Looking for an exciting matchup. Of course, we don't know which 2 crews are going to be in it, but we know at this stage that it's definitely going to be an exciting race, given that we've got all of these double sculls in these heats winning by such huge margins.
So we're going to go in a moment from these top athletes in the championship doubles. We're going to go down a peg or two to the junior coxed fours. This is the second tranche of races that we've got. We've had some just earlier on, about half an hour ago, and we're now going to finish this particular set of heats off. And local favourites, of course, Henley Rowing Club will be in the first race, so you can be sure that mums and dads, grannies, grandpas, cousins, the whole lot will be down here to shout for Henley. And they're against a crew that you will know quite a bit about, Will, Godolphin Latimer A.
Yeah, so this will be the A crew from the Godolphin and Latimer School Boat Club. I was speaking to them earlier during their lunch break after their time trial, and they know they've got their work cut out against this Henley crew, but they're not going to let previous results phase them. Early on in the time trial, they had a slight mishap going past the enclosures. Actually, one of their blades popped out of the gate, so they're lucky to have made it through to this stage, the Godolphin A crew. So no doubt they will have made sure that their gates were done up extra tight this time before boating. Just looking down to the start pontoon now, where there's no sign of the crews. We've got a few more minutes before.
Yeah, we've got a break
begins.
of about 10 minutes now. This race, and I can sense Will's excitement already building up. I need to make sure that he's safe in here from those Henley parents if he says too much. But don't worry, Will, I will look after you.
Thank you.
And trust me, I'm a headmaster. So it's about 10 minutes. We'll give you a break from our ceaseless chatter until we get that junior Cox 4s on the course.